Here's a quick look at the market through the eyes of the eMiniDayTrader system for Monday, March the 9th, 2009. You can see here that we've ended the day with an attempt to move higher. You can see our open was here. We did come back and close near the open. Most of the day was an attempt to move higher, well, especially the early part of the day, and then it continued to move off. We ended up with a little bit of range extension down. And when you take a look at what we had last week with these 3 days mostly overlapping, and now we've more or less done a very similar kind of event, it looks to me that the 674 area, more or less where we closed, maybe a little bit below that, is going to be kind of a above or below area. And if the market can spend some time below 74, that will be very, very bearish, I think, and we could have a nice leg down. Otherwise, it could come back up and test perhaps into this area up in here, the high of the value area, but that would likely act as a resistance area. I think the other thing too that we want to keep in mind here is that during this bear market that we're in, we will have some short covering rallies that'll be very swift from time to time. We had one last Thursday when the market rallied some or was that Friday, I guess, where the market rallied 20 points off the high. If it tries to push lower and can't, it could have a slingshot effect and then send the market up pretty quickly. And so that's just sort of the caveat we got to be aware of, that something like that could happen at any time, and more than likely to happen later in the day, as it did on Friday. But it looks to me that the market is confirming this down auction, and I think we want to monitor the 674 area to see if that continues to act as support or resistance. If the market can spend time below it, then look out below it. We're probably due for another leg down. As far as our individual trades were concerned today, we're not that active today. Not that we didn't want to be, but it's just how it turned out. We did have a very nice trade right off of the high. We got short in here early, and that was a nice move down. It was a type of trade that we don't get a lot of times. It was not one of our, well, it's kind of one of our core trades, but it's a core trade that when we take a look at our core trades, it's sort of a second tier core trade in the sense that it doesn't get triggered and set up a lot. So even though it is a core trade, it doesn't happen a great deal of the time. We had a really nice signal right in here. You can see the deceleration on this bar. We didn't use this one. It was a little bit too low. We wanted the market to get a little bit higher, and so that was a great short entry right here. So both of our trades today on our 1 minute chart with our software were shorts. We did have off of our 10-minute a long trade. We're looking at the 10-minute right now. It was entered right here. It did have a 2.5 point rally, so it did have a bit of a bounce to it. But when one of those formations form, and then even if it hits our first two objectives like this one did, if that pattern is taken out to the downside, that's another bearish indication, and which it was later in the day. So there's a lot of bearish development going on in the market for sure, and so we are expecting continuation down. And as it stands right now, if the market spends time below 74, that's where we look to get short. If it can rally up a little bit higher, that would be another place to get short in around the 689 area, and possibly even at the around the 684 area. So that's really what we're looking at as far as going into the market tomorrow, which will be Tuesday. So that's a look at the market from the eyes of the eMiniDayTrader perspective for Monday, March the 9th, 2009. And please contact us at eMiniDayTrader if you have any questions or comments, or send us an email to info@eMiniDayTrader.com.